Hello everyone, Dan the 14th Prime here. Thought I'd show you guys today a couple of custom Optimus Prime toys that I painted for my kids through the month of June. I mentioned in my last video how slow June was from a toy release perspective. It was just boring, so I was looking for something to do and grabbed some old cheap cheesy Optimus Prime toys that you pick up for like 10 bucks, like an action figure. That has some nice molding and some detail, you know, a lot of potential, but just poor paint apps. And decided I would customize one, the one on the left there that I did first. And then my son asked for Nemesis Prime, so I decided to do the one on the right as well. And my daughter might have me do one more yet, but I don't have that done. And then we will go in closer to see how okay I was at customizing these things for the first time. I am not a customizer by any means. So first shot here. So let's go in closer here and I'll show you the first one I did. This is the kind of more traditional Optimus. Again, the mold is after Transformers Prime, that cartoon miniseries. And I used largely that paint application with a little bit of G1 twist, with a little bit of doing whatever the hell I really wanted to do ultimately. So you'll see a little bit of that mixed in. And then of course I guess battle damage you'd call it. Took like a dry brush over it with a flat black paint to give it that weathered effect, which turned out pretty cool. He was kind of just glossy before that, and I figured I'd give that a shot. Looked it up on YouTube. It didn't look too hard. And again, I'm not a customizer. Actually, I had to go to Hobby Lobby and buy all the supplies because I had nothing. No model paints, no spray paint, no paint brushes. So kind of just took my first shot here. And again, really just because I was insanely bored looking for something to do. I like the back of this guy probably best. I think that's where I did some of my best work. Really cool on the back. I think the weathering's kind of perfect on the back. Well, perfect, or at least as good as I could do it. But tried to hit some of the details, you know. I'm not a pro, but I went for it. I went for some detailing, some tough paint apps. Did them as best as I could. I have to say the weathering effect over the top kind of cleans up or hides some of the imperfections. It's certainly not a perfect paint app, but when you weather it out like that, it makes everything very forgiving. I'll just go in close here on the head paint so you can see that. Blue, did some silver lining, of course. Light blue eyes. Had to go buy one little thing of paint of light blue for $2 just to put those two little drops right there for his eyes. And again, as you come down, you know, the closer you get, the more imperfect you see. Paint's a little chunky kind of on the windows, but it's a little tough to see because it's just black. But again, you go through here, I mean, I tried to do some detailing, right? And I went for some tough spots. Again, it's not perfect. You know, these aren't perfectly circled details on there, but it works. You can see how I tried to mix up the paint and give some different color schemes. Get down on those legs. This color, I mean, I want it to be a little more gunmetal than it came out. Came out kind of grayish. So I wish that was a little more, I don't know, shiny or whatever it needs to be to look more like gunmetal. Trying to hand paint some of this silver down here is difficult. You can see it's not perfect, but the mold wasn't really that good to apply the paint app over, so kind of a little bit freehanding some of these details, because in some areas the mold wasn't how you'd expect it to be. Here's the side just with the arm raised, so you can see the hip, how I did that. Down into the thigh, did silver all the way around with just some blue detailing on the back. I believe I did Nemesis a little bit different. And then here you can see, you know, a lot of detailing I went for on the legs. Again, really up close. Probably not perfect. So when you get really close, you know, you can see it's not perfect, but again, I'm going for a lot of fine detailing there. Plus with the worn look overall, it kind of just hides all that and it makes it look more natural. Take a look at the Autobot logo there. That was molded in, so I was able to just kind of hand paint the raised surface, which was much easier than a Nemesis Prime, you'll see. And if I come up top, just the last thing that you probably haven't seen yet is how I've detailed kind of the shoulder neck area with some black through some of the molding. I think that looks pretty cool. Gives a good effect on top. Kind of borrowing from the Transformer Prime effect that he has going from that cartoon series. So like I said, as soon as I finished that one, which by the way, I'm pretty much hand painting all these. If I haven't said it explicitly, probably pretty obvious, but for the first Prime, I basically could just lay down spray paint, blue paint for the lower leg, red for his arms and torso, and then you're hand painting everything else. On Nemesis, I did even less spray paint because I found painting the chest just creates a little bit more work and makes some of the detailing pop less. So I just spray painted the arms actually, and the legs, the lower legs, and hand painted all the chest because I didn't want to risk that red having to go over a black and maybe not look very good. So my son wanted a Nemesis, so I painted this guy. I'm not happy with the Decepticon logos. They look like crap, I'll admit it. I shaved off the Autobot logos and tried to hand paint these on, which was quite difficult. And I'm still not happy with it, but I just said, screw it, I'm going to leave it alone. My one saving grace is that it's dark purple on black and doesn't pop a lot of detail, so it kind of blends in. You can see a little bit the outline of the Decepticon logo, but if you come close, you definitely see it's not perfect. Here's the other one. So thankfully they are difficult to see under excellent light there. I mean, it sucks. Come over this one. Excellent light. It sucks. So I wasn't happy with those, but again, I'm not a customizer, and that is beyond my pay grade. But here's Nemesis again. I went for the details. I took some relatively hard, not Decepticon logo hand painted hard, but took some hard detailing efforts. You can see trying to get the whatever it is teal up into some interesting sections up in the chest and kind of create some contrast. So I tried all that. Did some lining with some silver on some of the molding, so you can see that on the arms. There's some on the back, I believe, as well. Kind of given some more detailing with some silver lining. And then just coloring basically some of the mold on the leg and on the feet. There's some purple trim that's probably really difficult to see on the bottom of the foot. Trying to use some of that purple where I could to tie it all together. Here's the side of Nemesis. And there you can see, again, I put a little purple splash there, kind of on the back of the arm. You'll see that better from the back as well. There's some of that lining. And I'd say similar detailing on the legs, on the side of the legs at least. A little bit different on the feet. So here on the back, again, a little bit more lining through some of those creases with the silver accents. Put the teal on a piece of molding there, put the purple on a piece of molding. Kind of taking advantage of what I can to use those colors to tie the figure together up and down a little bit. Pretty nice job with the waist, with teal, black, and silver through there. And here I did actually the back, focus, the back of the leg black. So the front half is silver, the back half is black, which would actually be more proper Transformers Prime color scheme. That is having the color on the back and the front being silver. So I used that for him and then just kind of detailed the pumps and just added some more color where I could. Use the purple again there. Silver, silver. Some yellow dots, why not? Silver on the bottom. And I'll try to show you these feet a little bit better. Here's, you can see, hopefully the silver, or excuse me, the purple there. So I really just did a little bit around the toe front section just to give a little bit of purple splash somewhere on the lower part of the body to tie in a few places, you know, the Decepticon logos and some places on the back as well. So here he is, just other profile view. I've got the arm raised there, so I'm not really bothering to go up there. But if you come down here, there you can see very well the two-tone through the thigh, and then the leg again. I've got like similar detailing as my other Prime, and on both of them, you can notice well here. I've used like a rubber color for all the wheels. It was tougher to see on the first one with all the weathering probably, but that is the same color on both of them, using a flat rubber for all the tires. And then I'll just jump down so you can see some of that detailing on the leg. Again, I kind of hit a lot of the same things, call it ankle to knee. Then down into the foot, I did a little bit different with, you know, painting this molding versus kind of the shin, and then doing some different stuff on the foot as well. And actually probably something you didn't see so well in the first one because I didn't show you explicitly, but the inside of the legs, you can see the what I'm detailing there as well. Again, kind of same stuff, right? Wheels, just some mechanical pieces like that. So that's what the inside of the legs look like. And then let me just grab that first Prime actually and show you how I did the inside of this one. I'd say similar, but did, you know, some minor differences in how I painted it. And then you can take a look at his head and face here. It was a little easier. I wasn't quite as aggressive with the detailing. I actually did a little more detailing on the other Prime, kind of two colors on the face mask and stuff like that, more silver on the antenna kind of areas. So this one pretty much kept it all black, threw in red eyes, the same color as the chest, silver faceplate, kind of kept actually a primer color inside on the face. That's just primer that I didn't put color on. And then, you know, hand paint the helmet black and then put some silver accents on, which is mainly the lining on the front there. And then just kind of a dot there on the side. And some dots on the back. That was it. But it looks good that way. So there you have it, guys. Just thought I'd share that with you since I spent a good amount of time on these, a couple of weeks, probably a week each on these, just with letting paint dry and then hand painting for a couple hours and letting it dry overnight, etc. So it takes about a week for each figure, just if you've got a real life with a job and stuff like that. Can't work on it all the time. So that's what I spent a good chunk of my time through June doing. And again, probably got one more coming for one of my kids, my daughter. And maybe if that one turns out as good, I'll flip it up here on YouTube to let you guys take a look. But thanks for checking these out. Again, it's good fun, nothing special. I'm no pro, but a couple ideas for maybe some of you folks out there. If you're looking for a custom kind of Prime on the cheap, you know, I don't think you need to be a pro to do something like this on a non-transforming figure. So give it a shot if you'd like, and happy to answer any questions if you're interested. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.